under control. The former Wolves man, playing at Besiktas these days, isn't he? The Moroccan skipper, unchanged for Morocco. Bono in goal, Hakimi, Agard, Saïss and Mazraoui, which is a pretty good back four when you think about it, especially when you've got that goalkeeper behind them. Ouani, Amrabat, Amalo in midfield, Ziyech, El Naziri and former Southampton man Sofiane Boufal down the left-hand side for Morocco. Have it now, Ziyech into El Naziri, the Sevilla man. Twists away quite elegantly, but Kevin De Bruyne is there. El Naziri goes down, clutching his face. Referee says Arturo Ramos doesn't look too concerned, I have to say. Second game of the competition for him. He oversaw the 0-0 between Tunisia and Denmark. He has stopped play because Morocco rather have put the ball out. You may have heard a steep intake of breath from myself there because I saw the replay and he brushed. His face was brushed, to be fair, but the way he went down, El Naziri there was a bit frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely, and the referee wasn't keen to stop the game at all, was he? It was the Moroccans who put the ball out of play for their own player, so I think he probably saw the situation and thought, well, there's nothing really serious of that. Of course, they've got the instruction to stop the game with head injuries, but he seemed pretty sure, and he was right, that it wasn't a serious one.
No, Naif Agard played 75 minutes in the Premier League, that is, since moving to West Ham. Had a bad injury in the summer. He plays a good ball forward. Now Boufal has it for Morocco, all in white this afternoon. Red shirts, black shorts and socks with a flame trim for Belgium for this World Cup. And they're going left to right, Morocco right to left as it's fed in by Ziyech. It wasn't a bad ball. Amala was breaking from midfield, trying to get onto it. And now Amrabat has it and plays it all the way back to the skipper, Saïss. Stride forward over the halfway line, 30 yards out. He's allowed to progress, ball in, and doesn't beat Toby Alderweireld. Now Kevin De Bruyne into the feet of Michy Batshuayi. He can't control. He'll find Eden Hazard. They got away with that, Belgium. They've got away with it a second time because Hazard's ball was poor. However, his brother Torgan takes over. Good ball through to Batshuayi. Bono comes out and makes a fine save. Batshuayi did well, shooting first time, letting the ball come across him like he did against Canada. With his left foot again, the goalkeeper though spread himself well. Yeah, it was good direct play, wasn't it, from Belgium? Much more dynamic in their attack this time round as opposed to that game against Canada, and already looking to feed Batshuayi in behind. It's a different change in formation. Hazard and De Bruyne perhaps picking up the ball further up the field in those danger areas where you'd want them, and it's working a little bit better so far. I'm just noticed something actually. It's not Bono in goal, is it? It's Moune Mohamedi who's got the nod. Bono was on the starting the lineups and on the team sheet we got, but it's certainly Mohamedi in goal, wearing the number 12. Good start for him. Batshuayi looking dangerous though. He looked really sharp, I thought, against Canada. No Lukaku until maybe the second game as the ball comes in. It's off a rocking head. It's out for a corner kick. There's a good ball in. I think it might be El Naziri, or is it maybe Fanusa Mazraoui who gets the last touch there. It's a touch, I speculate, he didn't know too much about.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. It was more of a jump to try and get something on it to stop somebody else getting there, but yeah, I don't think he quite knew what was happening. Perhaps then a late change for the goalkeeper, maybe an injury in the warm-up, something like that, but yeah, very late change.
Very late change. Ball in again, it's not a bad one. This time Saïss gets up. It's headed by Castagno at the edge of the box to Torgan Hazard. Looks to whip it in. Not the best, then Eden Hazard's at the back post, but it all breaks down. Kevin De Bruyne will amble back into his own half. Receives it off of Thibaut Courtois and sweeps it right to left to find Torgan Hazard. Looks like De Bruyne from the right, Eden Hazard in the number 10 position, as his shirt suggests, and Torgan Hazard from the left, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
Or maybe Kevin De Bruyne might be even a bit further deep. It seems like Martinez, he must have been thinking about this in the build-up to the tournament. Understandably, he wasn't happy with how they got on against Canada. They got the victory, but they were second best for long spells. It's played into the box by Morocco. Vertonghen's there. There's a battle between Eden Hazard and Amrabat. Witsel comes forward. Now Torgan Hazard down the left-hand side, makes his way into Moroccan territory. Stands on the ball, rolls his foot over and goes back to Vertonghen. We're going back to him, Matt. It does seem I almost automatically think they're going to play 3-4-3 because that's what they've played since they took over in 2016. It does seem a strong reaction, doesn't it?
It does indeed. I mean, we've seen quite a few teams this campaign in the World Cup already set up with that 4-4-2 in defence, to be quite defensive and structured in that way, and maybe he's copying that. He's put De Bruyne on the right, as you said, perhaps to get him in those deep crossing positions that he gets for Manchester City, looking forward. But yeah, it's certainly a change, and of course you've got Alderweireld and Vertonghen, the two centre-halves, advancing in age, shall we say. If they've not quite got the legs of their younger years, then perhaps Morocco could capitalise on that. But I think it's probably something that may have caught the Moroccans off guard as well, and they'll have to adjust in these opening minutes to work out the best way to get through them.
Yeah, Leander Ndonka was the third man in that back three against Canada. He's dropped out. Yannick Carrasco's booked for a handball that presented Canada with that penalty, which Alphonso Davies saw saved by Thibaut Courtois. He's dropped out, as has Yuri Tielemans. Amadou Onana has replaced him. I mentioned they made a double change at half-time. Onana and Meunier, both who start today, coming into the side. As Jan Vertonghen goes left to right with his long ball, looking towards Meunier, who gives him a thumbs up. It wasn't a great ball, I have to say. One skip and out for a throw to Morocco. I'd say level with the edge of their 18-yard box, as we see Roberto Martinez. The first shots we've seen of the 49-year-old. As I said, took over in 2016, third place at World Cup 2018. But it's always been smooth sailing. And well, in the build-up, we saw an interview with Belgian journalists suggesting that they weren't the golden generation, they were the bronze generation now.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost suggesting that they were past it, perhaps citing cultural tendencies to be pessimistic and therefore seeing this team as old. But there were a few other pundits with the opinion that, yes, they might be of advancing age, but they're still not out of it. Absolutely not. They're still good enough players to win this competition. They just need to click and find a way to do so.
Some might say they're at the peak. Thibaut Courtois 30, De Bruyne 31, Hazard 31, Eden Hazard that is. Not played much football, only 6 games for Real Madrid, 1 goal in that time this season. But Torgan Hazard 29, Meunier 31. Probably disproving my own theory now, aren't I? As De Bruyne gets the wrong side of Roman Saiss, and that with the first yellow card, you think, of the game, pulled down by the Moroccan. It was one of those. I'm not sure the touch was meant by De Bruyne. It kind of went over his left foot, but that meant he was in behind the defender, who kind of had no choice but to bring him down outside the box.
Yeah, it was almost over-exuberant a little bit there, the Moroccan defender, trying to get so tight to De Bruyne. Of course, you have to do that to stop him producing on the other end, but De Bruyne was quick to turn, agile, got in front of the man, and just put his body in the way and ended up taking a nasty knock on the back of the head as the big man's sign dropped on the back of him.
Yeah, as I said before, Mohamedi is the goalkeeper. Certainly experienced, 44th cap. Al-Weda in Saudi Arabia is where he plays his football. Al-Ittihad Abderraskat Hamdallah, so a pretty international squad, you have to say, for Morocco, including a couple of players who play in the Belgian league, including Selin Amala, who's in midfield today. First real chance, this down the from a set piece anyway. Of course, with that Batshuayi shot, Kevin De Bruyne will take the free kick from wide on the right hand side. I think it's Torgan Hazard who's there as well. He steps over it, De Bruyne takes it, dinks it towards the back post, and Amadou Onana. It's away by Saiss, flicked to Eden Hazard by Castagna. Eden Hazard will now scamper down the left hand side. Who got the last touch? A throw to Belgium. It was a rugged challenge by Ashraf Hakimi, Paris Saint-Germain star, of course. Yes, they will have. I'm just trying to think, will they have crossed over, those two at Real Madrid? Hakimi left for Inter. He was only there for a season, wasn't he? So probably. So they'll mark each other in training. As David Castagna, left back today, right wing back in the week, throws it down the line. The last touch was a Moroccan one, Sofiane Amrabat, and another corner kick. Belgium certainly winning the territory battle.
Yeah, absolutely they are. They're pushing further and further forward, and perhaps the Moroccans stifled by that formation, James, perhaps. I don't know, I'm just speculating, but yeah, they've been much better on the front foot, at least positive and quickly passing the ball.
Yes, as Meunier dinks it towards the back post. Confusion at the back. Saiss got in ahead of the goalkeeper. It was his ball all day. It looked like the goalkeeper shouted as well, but the skipper didn't want to take the chance. It'll be another corner kick, fourth in quick succession.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication with a new goalkeeper coming in, perhaps. But or maybe even not even able to hear each other. There's plenty of Moroccan fans inside the crowd, aren't there?
Absolutely. This game being played at the Al Thamama in Doha, as Torgan Hazard whips the ball in. It's away by Mazraoui. Kevin De Bruyne loops the ball to Eden Hazard, right to left. Hazard is covered by two Moroccan defenders. Gives the thumbs up to a teammate who'd given him the option, Batshuayi, but Amrabat and Ziyech did their job in defence. It'll be a Moroccan throw. Hakimi's right back these days, with Mazraoui left back the other way around 4 years ago in Russia. But Mazraoui, I'd say, probably the more versatile of the pair. Hakimi's more at home at right, but Mazraoui can play right wing, central mid, probably centre half as well. I suppose coming through, one of the tenets of players growing up at Ajax is that they do get switched around, so they know the game all over. Yeah,
absolutely. And Hakimi is such a quick attacking player, isn't he? Probably more comfortable and suited at the right hand side to whip the ball in first time right footed. He was, in fact, the youngest Moroccan player to play at a World Cup in that World Cup in 2018 at the age of 19. So plenty of experience already, 4 years down the line, to join the lineup today in what a competition where they've started pretty strongly, but could do with a result today to build on that.
Yeah, I think maybe we saw it. We saw it with Canada certainly the other day, and we arguably saw it with Japan this morning. They lost 2-1 to Costa Rica. It's you say 95% of the sides are well drilled at the World Cup. They know what they're doing defensively, but it is scoring those goals, isn't it? Canada had a number of chances, got some talented forwards, but couldn't put the ball in the net. Morocco have got some talented forwards, but they couldn't put the ball in the net against Croatia either.
Yeah, absolutely, and that well-drilledness of Costa Rica helped them today as against Japan. Japan weren't the greatest in terms of that attacking talent. They were good up until a point, but then just couldn't show that quality to create in the last final moment, and that's perhaps what separates those top teams, isn't it?
Yeah, it's creating those chances against what they call a low block, isn't it? Everyone's happy to defend on the edge of the box. It's being able to work your way through it. It's a quarter of an hour gone. Independent Opportunity Studio commentary. Belgium 0, Morocco 0. Kevin De Bruyne stands over another free kick wide on the left-hand side this time. Torgan Hazard there too. As De Bruyne shapes to cross it. Torgan Hazard looks like he's got a bit more purpose about him this time, so maybe he'll take over. Referee Cesar Arturo Ramos just makes sure the wall is back the 10, just inside their own box, to Moroccan players. There's El Naziri and Mazraoui by my eyes, and Torgan Hazard takes it short to Eden Hazard, back to De Bruyne, set move, it's blocked away by Morocco, and that was pretty handy play, I think, for all the world. We thought that Kevin De Bruyne was going to take it, and he wandered away. Good pace to the ball into Eden Hazard, back to De Bruyne, who struck it well, but the bodies have got out there.
Yeah, absolutely, it was that, wasn't it? The Moroccans had almost seen it. They didn't they choreographed it to Belgium, but Morocco didn't see it before it happened, but they got out to it quick. They reacted really well.
Again, it'll be Kevin De Bruyne to take the corner kick, whips it in, and Amadou Onana got up ahead of the goalkeeper. We mentioned it was a late change, Munir Mohamedi. It's different mindset coming into the game. He was absolutely nowhere there, Onana, and the goalkeeper's nowhere, and Onana should have done better for me.
Yeah, absolutely, it's a good opportunity. He's rising highest, is a tall man of stature, isn't he? And he gets to the ball, but almost too exuberantly, almost in front of it, and he's leaning his neck back to try and angle it towards goal, which of course helps it go over the bar. But yeah, a good chance nonetheless for Belgium. They've been on the front foot, they've dominated, much better from Martinez's side. Yeah,
we're just seeing they've had 65% of the ball so far. I was just thinking, we've not mentioned Sofiane Boufal, have we?
Nope.
Apart from running out to the sides. Hakim Ziyech's been quiet too, as El Naziri. Yeah, and the main man up front, 52 caps now, the Sevilla star, 15 goals during that spell. There's been a few fallouts in the Moroccan team, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Over the years, but they've got experience in there. I mentioned the goalkeeper, who's his 44th cap today. Hakimi's winning number 56. Roman Saiss 68. So they have players back there. Zayat's come back in to the fold, cap 45 for him. So it's no shortage of experience, which is vital, of course, at the World Cup, especially on the way this one's been set up, being in mid-season, because game management is going to be crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a side that are all together, aren't they? And it seems like they've got the backing of the nation as well. Ziyech had that falling out with the former manager, didn't play a part in any of the qualification, but he's in for this tournament, which shows how they're all together, and the fact that Mazraoui and Hakimi have sorted out who's playing on which side as well. Just shows that they're all in agreement with each other, I suppose.
Yeah, there's Vedad Halizodzic, who got Morocco to the World Cup, and Walid Regragui has got them, or taken them here, as Mounier finds himself on the left-hand side. His shot from the edge of the box is comfortable. Yeah, Walid Regragui, appointed at the end of August, had just led Al Wydad to the Champions League in Africa, as Anana, who was booked against Canada. Bit of a loose one there from the Everton man, although it was Sofiane Boufal, I have to say, maybe went down a bit too softly there.
Yeah, he just left the boot in, didn't he? Onana almost invited Boufal to go down, just looking at that Mounier shot just before down the goalkeeper's throat, wasn't it? Tell you what, it's not a bad position to come in as a manager, is it, when your team have already qualified for a World Cup and you can set them up however you like?
Yeah, you don't have that pressure. And
correct.
Getting all your friends back as well after they've fallen out with the former boss. It's, how can you persuade me to play? Well, I'm not Halizodzic,
yeah.
Which just seemed to be the problem. But he had a good record, didn't he? But obviously wasn't on the same page as a number of his players. And the FA decided the change was there to be made. Not the only team to make a late change, with Carlos Queiroz, of course, taking over. But he's well regarded. I know Walid Regragui, he won 47 caps for Morocco. Never played at the World Cup, but was in the team of the tournament for the 2004 African Cup of Nations. Played for some decent clubs in France as well. It's a decent switch of play, but Thomas Mounier is allied to it. Just nods it out for a throw. The Borussia Dortmund man. But a throw to Morocco, level with the edge of the box down the left-hand side as they attack, going right to left as we look at it. Independent off-tube studio commentary, and it's too easy for Morocco, as they found Unahi from that throw, and he had space to wander into. That's certainly grown in confidence. Zayat will go for goal over the crossbar, though maybe worth a look. Just opened up for him again, too easy. Axel Witsel's not pressing the ball at all there. He's just kind of jockeying the space, isn't he? You give a player like that space at your peril.
Yeah, it's speculative, but he's certainly got it on his locker, isn't he? He's one of those players that scores absolute worldies every now and again, but doesn't seem to score the little tap-ins every single game. He can come up with that brilliance, can't he, the Chelsea man? And yeah, as you say, he can't be allowed that time. It's that time on the ball that the Belgians allowed the team from Canada, of course, to have in the first game, and that's what set them on the back foot. I mean, to concede 22 shots in a game and not concede is some little fortunate feat, isn't it, from Belgium?
And they've got a brilliant goalkeeper.
Yes,
he was fabulous. Canada spurned a number of chances, but yeah, it's fortune, isn't it? You rode your luck, and maybe justifies the changes we've said that Martinez has made, as Kevin De Bruyne is offside. He's playing right hand side of the front of the second line of three, I suppose, isn't he, alongside Eden Hazard and Torgan Hazard today. But he reminds me, the positions he keeps drifting inside, and he reminds me of Kevin De Bruyne from the World Cup 2014, he was playing on the right hand side there, but you could tell he wasn't comfortable doing it.
No, yeah, he's drifting everywhere, and even Meunier's drifting everywhere. He was on the left hand side of attack a moment ago. They're very experienced, they've got license from Martinez to go wherever they want, but that can hurt them on the defensive side, can't it? If Morocco are able to turn the ball quickly and set them going back towards their own goal, the Belgians, then that they could exploit the space. But yeah, he has been frustrated for a while in a Belgium shirt, hasn't he? He doesn't get the ball like he does for Manchester City, does he, in the same positions?
Yeah, the arms were being thrown up against Canada on a number of occasions. Obviously frustrated. Agard stylishly plays it out to Ashraf Hakimi, who'll put the brakes on and now find Amala down the right-hand side. He looks to feed it to El Nassiri early doors. Cool play by Mounier, back to Courtois, and even cooler by the Real Madrid goalkeeper. A little Cruyff turn there as the shape to clear. El Nassiri tried to read it and slid in. Nice turn by Courtois, but they're not exactly watertight at the moment. Belgium. I will pass over to Matt in a second when this bit of play breaks down. I always feel a bit guilty passing over early at the moment with all the stoppage time that's being played. Well, Amrabat's got lucky there. Looked like a fair challenge by Batshuayi to me. We just see a replay of that lovely turn by Courtois. 23 and a bit gone. Belgium 0, Morocco 0. Matt to take us through to half-time.
Yeah, cheers, Jack. Courtois showing that confidence of what he's got at the moment. The Real Madrid man in some fine form. Of course, that fantastic Champions League final performance at the end of last season was epic, wasn't it, against Liverpool? And he has continued that form into this season. Kept the Belgian side in that game against Canada. And they're showing all of his skill at his boot as well. The Moroccans gaining a little bit of encouragement in the last few moments. Previous ball in behind Axel Witsel down the right-hand side. Saw them present an opportunity, but haven't really had a shot that has troubled Courtois as yet. Just the one lone shot from distance from Hakim Ziyech. Here's De Bruyne on the ball, quickly pressed by Mazraoui. That's good from the Bayern Munich man to get a foot in quickly to stop De Bruyne turning, because when he turns and faces your defence, he can create anything. As he receives a throw-in and just nods it back to Thomas Meunier, that throw-in taker. Here's Onana, quickly pressed by El Nesri, just gives the ball back to Jan Vertonghen. Has time to turn in the middle of the park again, does the Everton man. Morocco staying in that shape, staying comfortable, staying disciplined, making sure that the Belgians can't cut them open. Here's Castagna on the left-hand side, not seeing anything really of him going forward down that left-hand side as yet. He's a man that can play left, play right, and has done for Leicester in his time in the Premier League. And Vertonghen and Alderweireld playing the ball out from the back. The former Tottenham Hotspur pairing is flicked on then by Hazard up towards Batshuayi. He backs into the defender, can't hold on to it. It's won well there by Roman Saiz out to the right-hand side. Here's Hakimi, chance to play it long down the right, flicks it over the top, but there goes the official flag over on the far side. And once again, Jan Vertonghen is right in the referee's ear.
Yeah, straight away he's clearly offside, isn't he? Hakim Ziyech there. He needs to be better, doesn't he? I wonder if he thinks that he might now have the legs on Castagna, who's a very, very athletic, and he wanted to go early there, but he was a good 2 or 3 yards off. There was certainly a body width between them. We're seeing his shot. Courtois happy to let it go over. But Morocco, they're trying to move it back to front very quickly, aren't they? They obviously see that maybe Belgium have got an advantage in the middle of the park, whereas a different style for Belgium, as you'd expect. They're trying to move it through the phases, aren't they? They're happy to go from the back through the midfield and then onto the likes of Hazard and De Bruyne, either Hazard, of course. The problem is that means Batshuayi is maybe getting a bit isolated. Yeah, absolutely. He's having to battle up against those centre-backs who are dealing with him well so far. They're strong. They're giving him the odd knock here and there to say, don't you worry, son, we're still here. We're going to nick it off you as soon as you get it. But here's Onana, chance to turn in midfield. Left-footed, searching ball out to the left-hand side. And just as I say that, he completely hooks it. And it goes straight out for a corner kick. Not his finest. No, not at all. He opened his body up nicely there, didn't he? It looked like he was going to fizz one out to Eden Hazard, who drifted to the left. Horgan had gone inside. Now they swap places. Eden Hazard, just as a word with the referee, Rice now from the Real Madrid man, who didn't get through the full 90. I mentioned he's only played 6 games so far this season for Real Madrid, and you do think that it might be a change at some point. I was surprised that Leandro Trossard didn't start this game. He was very impressive off the bench, and there was just a feeling when he did come on, the Belgian players have obviously seen his form this season. You'd think he's really sharp in training as well. They looked to try and give it to him every time they had it, and maybe Roberto Martinez is keeping him back as almost an impact sub. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I also saw in the Argentina game, McAllister started the game against Mexico, didn't he? 2 Brighton players, of course, Trossard and McAllister in fine form this season. And sometimes you may not have the track record behind you in the history of, say, an Eden Hazard, but
you've got the confidence in the moment, and that can be crucial as Mounier jumps underneath the ball here, and it's both Boufal bringing the ball forward for Morocco. Cuts inside from the left-hand side, chips it to the right, headed back inside. It's a volley towards goal. Amala with that one, and it will be a goal kick. I think the referee has given there. Amala searching with the first-time volley. A good move for Morocco, but in the end, Belgium did enough.
Yeah, it's all just getting back in time. A nice cushioned header back by Hakimi. Amala coming in. It was nice for Boufal, but it was almost too skillful for himself there, wasn't it? The ball got stuck. He did a nice turn, but the ball just got stuck under his feet as he was trying to get away from the man. There's going to be a yellow card here, and Amadou Onana, I think it is, he's picked up the caution. Second man in the book. He did get booked after about 15 seconds of coming on actually against Canada.
Yeah.
It was really quick turnaround. He'll miss the next match against Croatia, and that is a big blow. He jumps, I think the rule's there for a reason. He jumps with his arm. If I was still playing, I would still be jumping with my arm, because he just gets up above the man. He gets the jump on the man, basically.
Yeah, and you use your arms for leverage, don't you, of course, when you're jumping. If he was a smaller man, that arm is going into the side of the arm of the opposition, but because he's so tall, when he jumps, he's already above the man, and therefore the elbow comes somewhere near the neck and the chin of the opposition, and therefore foul against him, yellow card against him, and he goes into the book. Morocco with this free kick then lifted in towards the box to the right hand side, searching for it, but in the end it's gone bouncing past a combination, I think, of Nesri and Agard in that box there. Ziyech was the man with the clipped ball in. It was a difficult one. It's one of those set pieces that's almost too central.
Yeah, it was a difficult one, and I quite like the idea, actually. Players running from left to right, and then the ball was probably only a yard ahead of El Naziri. It would have been perfect. It was a good run and a decent ball in. Unfortunately, Morocco couldn't quite connect, but Belgium was somewhat on the heels there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking, actually, Onana did pick up that yellow card. It was Thomas Mounier, who we were looking at earlier on. I haven't seen any confirmation that he definitely picked up a yellow card. We'll keep an eye on it. Of course, if he is on a yellow, would have to look towards him again if he was to make another late challenge. I don't think he did get one, so he is the lone man, is Onana, as a foul given against Morocco by Amala in the middle of the park on Eden Hazard. As ever, so strong and neat and tidy on the ball. This one, Thorgan Hazard. In fact, he does get a touch on the ball there, Amala. But maybe the referee was adjudging him to have touched enough of the Moroccan player man before the tackle came in, that a foul was worthy. Boufal picks up the ball for Morocco in the middle of the park and chops it inside for Amrabat. Half an hour gone in this game then. It's still Belgium 0, Morocco 0 in this Group F game. Independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary as Ashraf Hakimi brings the ball forward down the right into the feet of Ziyech, drops it back to Hakimi again, searching inside, just controls the ball too heavily. It's won back by Thorgan Hazard, chasing forward, got men in front of him, he's collided with Ziyech, then another man comes in, it's El Nesri, does really well, does El Nesri, to win that ball back, plays it back to another member of his team, and Morocco's tails are a little bit up now. They're winning the ball further up the field. Here's Amrabat, switches the play out to the left and just drops it between two of his men and gives Meunier a chance to come across and win it, and he does so, and sets Belgium going forward. Then a really poor ball from Batshuayi. This game is scrappy in the midfield, and a tackle comes in for Morocco. Free kick to Eden Hazard. He's taken a knock on his shin. I think Amala there leaving a foot into that one. Vertonghen once again in the referee's ear. And just as Morocco, just see another replay. It's a scrape down the knee.
It's a scrape down the knee, yeah. I was going to say Amala's not a player who leaves anything behind, but that's unfortunate more than anything. He's turning to get the ball and Hazard runs across him. It's a really sore one. I'm surprised the ref hasn't had a word in his ear from someone with that one. It seems to be okay, fortunately, does Eden Hazard, but it was certainly an awkward one.
Yep, absolutely. One of those tackles where the player's coming in from the blind side and can't quite see exactly where they're coming from and how quick they're coming. And he ended up coming in a little bit late as Jan Vertonghen picks up the ball well inside his own half. Axel Witsel is so deep in this game, isn't he, alongside the centre halves. That's allowing Castagna and Meunier to push up on each side, and that therefore allows Kevin De Bruyne to chop inside a little bit more in a more preferred position, an inside right position. As Witsel laboured on the ball for a minute as Belgium look to go left, then look to go right, and switch back to the left-hand side again. Here's Castagna, keeps the ball in play, chops it inside. Great turn by Eden Hazard. That's what he can do. His agility is brilliant. He turns inside, gives it to De Bruyne, opens up the play, fizzes it to the right. Here's Meunier, crossing chance into the front post. There's the goalkeeper, though. That's good from Meunier, and no one really attacking that front post for Belgium.
No one really attacking that front post. I think maybe the ball could have had a bit more whip on it, a bit more zing to get in between the back four and the goalkeeper. As it was, Morocco did really well there, really stopped the space opening up in their own area. The back four were going back towards the goalkeeper, Mohamed, who did really, really well, but there wasn't too much space in front of him. You'd fancy Saiss or Agar would have got there ahead of Batshuayi.
Yeah, I think Batshuayi may have even been standing in an offside position as well. Torgan Hazard was not happy that the ball wasn't dragged back to the penalty spot. He thought that he'd found some space in the middle, but Meunier's first time ball instead just hit the goalkeeper. And Morocco have just given away a throw-in on the near side. Just a sloppy piece of work between Mazraoui and Sofiane Boufal. And the Belgians continue to dominate the ball in this game. Out to the left-hand side they go now with Castagna. Fizzed it into the middle of the feet of Eden Hazard. Drops it off to his brother Torgan. There's Onana. Onto with Witsel, perhaps? No, Witsel turns it out to Alderweireld. Poor control from him. Can it be nicked off him? Yes, Boufal does, but he can't quite get it with the correct connection, and the play slows down.
Yeah, the play just slowed down, and Boufal's had a couple of nice moments as he just seems to be growing into the game. I've been impressed by Amrabat so far. He's very much the Sergio Busquets of the team, isn't he? He's tall, he's athletic, and he always goal side of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. He's playing such an intelligent role in that deep position in this Morocco side, and he just drops one off now for Aguirre on the right-hand side of defence. There's a man gone down in Morocco white, but they continue forward here. Ziyech down the right-hand side. There's a man in the middle of the box. He strikes towards goal and blazes it over the bar. Sorry, it's Hakimi on his right peg, smashes it, and here's the camera behind the net.
Yeah, it's not great. Ziyech went down under Ziyech went down under pressure from Onana. He looks up Hakimi there, and as he does, and Aziri has drifted in between a couple of Belgian defenders, maybe even three, and he's almost behind them as well. And I think Hakimi feels he can't square it. It's not really on, so he goes for broke but doesn't test the goalkeeper.
No, he doesn't connect it exactly how he wants. Got plenty of power, but no direction whatsoever. Perhaps rushing and slashing at that one. But here's De Bruyne on the break here for Belgium. Driving through the middle, left-footed shot. Blocked away to the left-hand side, and out it goes for another Belgium corner. This time Mazraoui cutting in to defend and tracking him all the way.
Yeah, and just having a look now, it almost looks like Belgium have gone back to a back three now with Castagna on the left-hand side. So I suppose with the selection they've got, they can be flexible, and that's maybe what's catching Morocco out on the counter-attack. This is the sixth corner for Belgium. And Anna headed over earlier on, but otherwise Morocco have been pretty sharp.
And Guard is the man that's marking Onana in and around the penalty spot. Right-footed ball comes in from De Bruyne. Front post punched away by the goalkeeper Mohamedi. And a chase on here as Castagna will win that race and be able to just play the ball back as Boufal was behind him. That's strong goalkeeping.
It was very strong goalkeeper. I'm just looking. Onana, he's got to be 6'5", hasn't he? He was... He had some height on Agard, who, as a Premier League centre-half, you wouldn't think he'd have been signed if he was less than 6'2", would you?
No, absolutely not. As Belgium win a throw-in over on the far side, they're pushing the Moroccans back into their own box here. There's plenty of Northwest African fans inside the stadium, the Al Thumama Stadium, just the south of the city of Doha, as Jan Vertonghen picks up the ball just inside his own half. He's looking for some support now. Yeah, Castagna is so deep in this team now. Torgan Hazard is more or less the left wing back, isn't he? Absolutely in this team now. It's a very shiftable, changeable Belgian team, and whether it's an orchestrated one from Martinez or whether it's one of those, sometimes the managers say to the players, well, if you sense something in the game, you take control, and they are all experienced.
And that's good, isn't it, that they are taking control. They have sense. We're forever being told about overcoaching and players not being able to adapt. Famously, that seems to be the case when England went out to Iceland in Euro 2016, didn't it? But if they are being flexible and changing their formation, we've seen it a few times with Brighton, haven't we? With now Chelsea, of course, Graham Potter. But I always like to see it because there are so many sides that are almost wedded to the system that they become predictable.
Yeah, absolutely, but they're just giving the ball away, and Amrabat's chasing forward, and Arna does really well, gets his body in front of the man though, and Amrabat will be penalised here for pulling an Arna back, perhaps catching him on the ankle as well. Let's just see another replay. Yeah, just an accidental stud, I think, down the Achilles there, a sore one for Onana. Just seeing a reverse angle replay of that Hakimi strike, and
the ball was coming from me there.
Yeah, I mentioned the camera, didn't I? And it struck the frame of the camera, not quite the lens, but as we were looking down that camera there, it was a bit terrifying.
I have to admit, I think it was pretty obvious that I tried to get out of the way.
Yeah, I was diving away in the studio as Belgium come forward down the left. Here is De Bruyne switching sides now. Has he got his ankles caught there? Yes, says the referee. A guard the defender to go across there as the referee points for a free kick. Hakimi saying that was a little bit of a dive. Perhaps it was Saïss, in fact, with that tackle. I'd love to see a replay of this one. It's one of those where the attacker has turned so quickly, all it takes is a little nick and it takes the foot away, but the players often buy it.
Yeah, the momentum of size there, I think, took De Bruyne down as much as anything. He doesn't look happy, does he, De Bruyne? He's playing a couple of positions so far in this game. Torgan Hazard going to left wing back, suggests he'll go a bit further up the pitch, or a bit more central at least, De Bruyne. But he's got a free kick opportunity here.
Yes, around about 10 yards short of the corner flag and around 6 or 7 yards inside. So it's a position that's a better angle to perhaps whip it towards that far post just for a little nick on. And if anybody misses it, then De Bruyne's cross could go in. Here he does whip towards the far post. Almost in Douglas Luiz fashion, but it hits the roof of the net.
Hits the roof of the net. Interesting effort. I think it's one of those, though, that you've got to make the goalkeeper. If you're going to go for that, you've got to test the goalkeeper, haven't you? The goalkeeper's quite comfortable. He has been quite comfortable. He had one swing and a miss from a corner kick where Onana maybe should have scored, but other than that, a late change coming into the side, Munir Mohammadi, and he's been pretty composed, I'd say.
He has indeed, as the ball comes down the right-hand side for Morocco. A sloppy touch is then hooked back by Ziyech, but only into the feet of Eden Hazard. De Bruyne into Torgan Hazard, back to Onana, finds Batshuayi on the right-hand side. He's got to be offside as he bears down on goal. The flag goes up again. Yeah,
it was probably 3 or 4 yards there, wasn't he? Batshuayi in the side again because Lukaku's injured. You kind of feel sorry for him because he makes his run expecting one pass and then he goes backwards. So Lukaku is actually on the bench today. We're seeing him warm up. He's had a thigh problem, hasn't he? And it's it must be hard work if you are Batshuayi. He got the winner against Canada. Looked pretty sharp. I think he's had that chance today. He's looked generally pretty sharp in this game, but you know at some point Lukaku is going to come on. It's probably going to be for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Lukaku is no doubt the number one in this team when it comes to strikers, and not many teams, never mind international teams, play 2 strikers these days. And another man that's isolated, En-Nesyri up top for Morocco, just chasing on to the end of a rather loose and hopeless ball as it bounced all the way through for a Belgium goal kick. Less than 5 minutes to go till half time, then still goalless in this one. Not the first half of this tournament we've seen goalless. And hopefully it'll be another one of those games that bursts into life in the second half, should we not get anything before the half-time whistle goes. As here's Meunier down the right, quick battle with Boufal, comes out with the ball, feeds it through towards Batshuayi. This time looked on, but his foot came across and he couldn't quite control.
I think he was offside. Guard seemed to give a thumbs up to the assistant. They're well drilled out there, as we mentioned before. Morocco, they know what they're doing, but it's when the play breaks down like it has done now, where you worry about them, Saïss just gets it away, but Eden Hazard has it.
Yeah, down the left-hand side, a good tackle in this time from Hakimi, and the fans go wild inside the crowd for that one. As Eden Hazard picks it up again, pressed by Hakimi, drops it back into Witsel. Yeah, they're almost orchestrating their own downfall at times, Morocco, playing the ball into Belgian feet, but I suppose that's what happens when you're pegged back so much and it's difficult to play out from the back. Here's De Bruyne looking down the left. Perhaps Hakimi took a shove there from Hazard as they both just tap hands as an accident happened.
Yeah, they've had an interesting duel so far. It's been fun for us to watch, but I think both are probably getting a bit frustrated with each other. Happy to engage in both sides of the ball, aren't they, Eden Hazard and Achraf Hakimi? But like I say, a nice playful tap to probably say I'll see you for the next round.
Yeah, there was a lot of that in the early game between Japan and Costa Rica as well. It was very, very hard fought. There were lots of strong tap challengers, but each time one happened, both players got up, looked at each other and went, yeah, fair, 50-50, let's keep this going. It's something that sometimes boiled over in that game between Argentina and Mexico yesterday evening, as Thomas Munier looks to put a cross in from the right-hand side. It's Mazraoui who gets a foot in. He's in conversation with the linesman, saying that he knocked it off the Belgian, but not to be, says the linesman. Here's Witsel, just dropping it into the feet of Hazard under pressure. Does well to control the ball. Onana then looking to slide the ball to the left-hand side. Just about gets it to Castagna. Was he caught? The referee comes across. Castagna may have taken a little nick because the Chelsea man in Ziyech says that he won the ball there. In fact, Castagna stood on Ziyech.
Yeah, Castagna didn't complain, did he? Which is usually a bit of a giveaway. Just in the last 5 or so minutes, Morocco have just been a bit less tidy in possession, haven't they? As Onana goes down, I think it's maybe, I will say, the more rugged of the 3 central midfielders for Morocco. Amala just puts an arm up there, and having been booked for a similar offence, Onana probably feels a bit hard done by.
Yeah, he backed into him, didn't he, Amala, and just said, I'm going to fend you off, and just nudges him in the chin, and therefore it's a Belgian free kick, as on the ball in the middle of the defence there, Toby Alderweireld. Good turn from Onana in the middle of the park. Turns it back towards De Bruyne. Tries to flick it round the corner. It's won by Amrabat. Play to the right-hand side for Morocco. It's scrappy. Sliding challenge comes in. A guard wins it back. Here's Unai as he plays it out to the right-hand side in towards Ziyech. Up against Castagna. Tries to chop inside on his favoured left foot. Another tackle comes in. And out of play, perhaps, I think, is the adjudication in the end. And throw into Belgium.
Clearly out there. Ziyech, as all good players do, had his head up when he wasn't looking for the line, and Castagna kept playing to the whistle, but I think he knew it was coming and just broke down. It almost typical of what we were saying about Morocco there a few moments ago, where in possession they've just been untidy.
Batshuayi now on the right-hand side, trying to get involved in play in the right midfield position at present. Less than a minute to go till we see how much added time will be played onto the end of this first half. There was only 1 minute in the early kick-off. Don't suppose there'll be too much at the end of this one either. There's not really been too many stoppages. Perhaps the odd 30 seconds or so for corner routines for Belgium, as another Belgian man hits the deck. Once again, it's Eden Hazard. He's one of those players, like Jack Grealish, like Wilfried Zaha, that just seems to pick up free kicks.
And there's Mazraoui remonstrating with the referee, but I'm not quite sure why. Well, the two things: he doesn't win the ball, and B, you can't tackle from behind, can you? It's always going to be against you, that decision. You just need to be cuter.
And they played it quickly in towards Hazard, but this time his chop inside is cut out by Amrabat. Finds Boufal, who just opts to hold onto the ball and cut onto his right foot, then goes with his left to switch the play. Fantastic ball out to his opposite winger in Ziyech, up against Castagna. Surely he's going to cut inside. He does, and he meets another Hazard in Thorgan, and Thorgan puts a great foot in. Does he know, says the referee. That one will be a free kick just outside the box, but the Belgians are not happy.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see that one again, because Ziyech, for me, overplayed. He should have just knocked it back to a teammate. I think it was Amrabat, maybe Amala on the edge of the box, and that's a fine tackle from Thorgan Hazard. And had he tried to take it quickly, Morocco, the referee, too quickly for the official, who's going to mark it out again and allow them to reset. That was unlucky for Belgium. Half a minute since the clock went red, or pink in this case. 1 minute has been added on, so this will be the last play of the half.
It will indeed. Just a funny moment there as the referee says Ramos turning towards Hakimi to lay down the law. Suddenly Jan Vertonghen comes up, and Ramos turns around and has to look up about 5 inches to tell him off. As free kick in the final moments then for Morocco. Perhaps the last chance of the half, and it will be Chelsea's Hakim Ziyech over the top of this one with his left boot to whip this one into the box. The defenders are up from the back here for Morocco, and it's a very loaded front 6-yard box, isn't it? There's about 4 Moroccan players towards the front post as Ziyech looks to whip it in towards that area. It's gone through everybody. It's gone through Courtois, and Morocco have taken the lead just before half-time.
I think it's pretty predictable what was going to happen when they loaded the front post there, wasn't it? They were going to try and catch Courtois unsighted, and Morocco, somewhat against the play, have got their goal. Hakim Ziyech from the right-hand side with his left foot fizzed a low ball in. I'd love to see a reverse angle of this, because I'm not sure Courtois saw it until it had gone past him. Axel Witsel's down, as there's been some tomfoolery in the box. I'm not quite sure. It looked a clean goal first time round, though.
Yeah, he's holding his face, isn't he? Suggesting that an arm maybe came across. Courtois could not see a thing. He was on the ground just saying, what happened in front of me? There were so many men, it was almost impossible to see. Let's have a look at this one. Witsel near the front post. Is there anybody offside? Maybe one person. Does he touch it? Does he involve himself in the play? Witsel goes down a little bit soft. The Moroccan player goes down.
for me, Witzel's tried to. That's his ball. That is, and he's the wrong side of the man. And I think maybe he perhaps gets a bit of a shoulder, but it's too late by then. The ball's gone past him, and his run's just not good enough.
No, and there's Roman Saiss, I think, right in front of the goalkeeper, but he ducks underneath the ball. He doesn't go to head it. He was the one in the offside position, so therefore this goal will stand right on the brink of halfway. Belgium perhaps lucky to get that win against Canada, and this one's going against them as well. They're being the better team, but they're behind.
That was such a. They're going to VAR check it here. It was such a smart play. Referee Ramos is going to have a look at it now. It looks well. You think it's going to be cancelled out, but for me, that's the wrong decision.
Yeah, it wasn't really much in terms of contact between Witzel and the other man. I just wonder, what are they looking at? Are they looking at offside, or are they looking at the foul? Let's just have a look as we see this here. I think they're looking at a potential foul on Witzel, but by the time the arm hits him, the ball's past him.
Oh, just having a look. Is this man, I'm not quite sure who is, Amala or is it Roman Saiss? Is he offside, and does he touch the ball? That's the...
He tries to duck, doesn't he?
Yeah, he tries, and they might... there's a lot going on there. I think it's going to be offside, this, isn't it?
Let's have a look. The referee has come back, and he's waved the goal off and puts his arm in the air. Ziyech flicks his hands at it to say, that's not the result that I wanted. But referee Cesar Ramos, in conversation with the VAR official, has said offside. Therefore, they have adjudged that Roman Saiss touched the ball. And on the stroke of half-time, the goal is chalked off, and that will be that for the end of the first 45 minutes. We thought we had a goal. We haven't. It's Belgium 0, Morocco 0.
Goalless at the break between Belgium and Morocco in Group F. It's been a fascinating half, as you'd imagine. Belgium have dominated possession. They've had efforts through Amadou Onana and Thomas Meunier. However, the moment of the half came right on the stroke of the interval. Morocco having a goal ruled out for offside. Roman Saiss adjudged to have been the wrong side of the line. Hakim Ziyech whipping it in past Thibaut Courtois, but the skipper was the wrong side of the line. Goalless at the break.
De Bruyne seemed to have taken a knock there, but Trossard battles well and wins it back. Here's Mertens. Mertens finds Tielemans. Quick 1-2 between those two. Witsel dropping in between the two centre halves. That may be a late ploy as they seemingly play a makeshift back three in that sense. Trossard wide on the left, Castagna wide on the right. Here's De Bruyne. 3 Belgian men within 5 metres of each other, and the ball cannons off from Romelu Lukaku. Mazraoui then sees Trossard out, and out for a goal kick it goes, and Trossard's want to get this game going quickly again.
Yeah, pretty good player. Trossard with his left foot, playing a wall pass with the advertising hoardings back to the goalkeeper. We're going to see that goal kick again. We're going to get some stats with it as well. 30 bang on metres, and he lands on the line. 62 kilometres an hour. You're younger than me, you might know what that means. But it was fabulous from the near post, catching the goalkeeper out there. Unlucky in the first half was similar. It's a wonderful goal.
It is indeed, and if there was nobody in front of Courtois, you fancy the Real Madrid goalkeeper to get it, but it's just a perfect ploy, playing size in that front spot to try and put the goalkeeper off, and it's a clear intentional action, isn't it? Especially with the fact that they did the same from the opposite side at the end of the first half. But 6 minutes to go in this game. Independent unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Belgium 0, Morocco 1, as we come into the final stages of this game. As we stand, Morocco will be top of the group with 4, Belgium second in 3, Croatia on 1, Canada on 0, with those two final teams to play each other this afternoon. A battle over on the far side, a heavy landing, but it's still kept a hold of by Morocco. Chopped inside then. It's up towards Amdallah now. He's got a man chasing in front of him, Ziyech. He plays him eventually, then looks to play it back. It's in towards Amdallah's tracking back. Here's Brighton's Leandro Trossard. The makeshift left back does perfectly to spot the danger. He fizzes it up forward towards Mertens, who then can't find Lukaku with his flick forward, and out on the near side it will go to a throw-in. This game is wide open, as you would expect with so many attackers on the field for Belgium right now, and if it wasn't for Trossard, Amdallah's got a tap in.
Very good play, wasn't it, by Trossard, getting back 5 minutes left off the 90. Kevin De Bruyne is now the right hand side of the back three. It really is all hands to the pump now for Belgium. It probably shows how much respect they've also got for Croatia, really, because they're throwing everything at this with a game in hand as well. I think maybe winning that first match, they feel they've got that money in the bank and they get something from this Morocco game and have something to spare against Croatia, but it just not look like that at all. Advantage being played. Vertonghen is playing as an advanced midfielder with De Bruyne the defender.
Yeah, absolutely. Mertens was just caught in the centre circle. Advantage played for Belgium. Lukaku lurking on the final shoulder. De Bruyne tries to find him. Good header away though by Roman Sainz in the middle of that back three now, after El Yamik came onto the field to play the left-hand side as Mertens picks it up in the box. Looks to cross one back. He kicks it, and it's turned away by Elmer Yamik over on that far side. A guard, should I say, over on that far side. Mertens grimacing, knowing that he should have done better. On the right-hand side, though, into the feet of De Bruyne. Feeds it into Mertens. Tries to flick one on. It's intercepted, and Ziyech plays it backwards. A guard then looking to find Atia Allah as he clears it down the left-hand side, looking for Ziyech. He goes down easily, but does he win a free kick? Yes, he does, says the referee. Witsel, the judge, to have fouled him.
Can't say I'm entirely convinced about that one. There wasn't really any complaints from Axel Witsel there, was there? And yes, he does bump into a silly play, really, isn't it, by the Borussia Dortmund man?
Yeah, no need. He's got 3 or 4 inches on Hakim Ziyech. He doesn't need to do anything. Just stand there strongly and just force him.
He's 33 years old. He must have given that free kick away enough times not to do it anymore, you think?
Yeah, you would have thought so. But sometimes these professional footballers under so much pressure do questionable things that we often wonder why defenders dive into tackles in their own box, but they still continue to do it as the ball comes down the left-hand side for Morocco. It can't be kept in play there by Amdallah, and the Moroccan fans chant their team on inside the Al Famama Stadium. It's a quick goal kick from Belgium, played into the feet of Kevin De Bruyne. 3 minutes to go plus stoppage time as Vertonghen is camped on the left-hand side. It's fizzed into the feet of Mertens. Here is Vertonghen. Trossard in front of him. Drops it back to Mertens as he finds himself finding the feet of De Bruyne. He drives forward with the ball. This is a good run. Poor ball inside, but it finds the feet of Trossard, though, on the deflection. Left foot across to come in. Chips it up in towards the centre circle of the centre penalty spot, should I say. I can't get my words out. It's frantic stuff for Belgium. All hands to the pump going forward. Dropped back now into Tielemans, just slowing things down for a moment, lulling the Moroccans into a sense of illusion perhaps as the ball comes forward. Great defending from Aguerd. He stands Lukaku up and says, you go and win it then, son.
Yeah, and as you say, he knows that Belgium's not going to get there, so he just lets it go over his shoulder out for a goal kick. Dries Mertens has been so sharp since he's come on. It's almost a ploy now for them to take him out of the game, because I think Morocco feel that he is the most dangerous Belgian player at the moment. Great play by Trossard down the left-hand side. Good ball in as well towards the penalty spot. But no Belgian player throwing themselves at it.
No, absolutely not. 2 minutes to go then, as manager Walid Regragui just watches on from the sidelines. He looks pretty cool and calm, doesn't he?
He must be dancing inside there.
Oh, yeah.
He must be 100 heartbeats a minute at the moment. It to be one of the greatest results in Moroccan history, you would think.
Yeah, absolutely. Saw Luis Suarez, the manager of Costa Rica, earlier as his team scored against Japan. Everyone went crazy around him and he just stood still. He didn't react one bit. That's manager showing that mentality. Just keep it calm. Just keep your heads. Keep working right to the final whistle. It's exactly what Morocco are doing. The Atlas Lions coming to the final stages of this game for what would be a fantastic win. They've not won at the World Cup since 1998. As the ball comes out to the right-hand side for Belgium.
Scotland 2-1.
Great knowledge, Jack. Great knowledge. As the ball comes inside from De Bruyne into Witsel. Centre circle once again. Bringing the ball forward. Just finds Vertonghen on the left-hand side. Will be 2 wins in a row against Belgium as well for the Moroccans. Won 4-1 in a victory in 2008 in Brussels. They fancy their chances as the ball's whipped in by De Bruyne. Cleared away, cleared into the air by a guard. It comes back though to De Bruyne. The makeshift skipper for the Belgian Red Devils. Out to the right it goes. Chance for a cross from Castagna. Stood into the box. It's a chance to attack at the far post. Great header in there by El Yamik. It's picked up by Vertonghen, who's retreating towards his own goal now. Ziyech charging him all the way. 30 seconds plus added time to go. Right hand side, it's Alderweireld. Finds the feet of Castagna. Inside it goes to Alderweireld again. The centre half breaking forward, looking for a crossing opportunity to Catalaire. Going down on the edge of the box. Was that a foul? No, says the referee. Amdallah now a chance, one-on-one with Axel Witsel. There's other defenders retreating as he slows things down. He's got Ziyech for support on the right hand side. Will he go on his own? Shifts to his left hand side, looking for a left-footed shooting opportunity. Flex twice, wins a corner kick. Great work from the striker.
He could have done much more there because he wasn't really handed anything by Ziyech. He takes it to the angle. It's a decent save by Courtois. Just having a look, 1986, the only time that Morocco have got to the round of 16. It was actually 3-0 against Scotland, but I remember that evening because Norway beat Brazil, so Morocco didn't go through. It was a crazy night of football. 5 minutes have been added on. We played the first 30 seconds. I would be surprised if we've got to a minute in time for this to be taken.
Yeah, absolutely. It's over on that far side. There's Amrabat and Ziyech just taking as long as they want, and it will be just a tap to the corner flag. Amrabat, the anchor in midfield, is now anchoring himself to the corner flag. Tielemans right behind him. He's not got enough strength, the young Leicester midfielder. Ball goes out of play. Who did it come off last? It came off Amrabat, says the ref. It looked like Tielemans to me.
I thought it was Tielemans. It seemed to just fizz off the back of his right ankle, but a minute has gone and De Bruyne, they're going to play from deep here, Belgium. I know it's in the DNA and etc. And it's the philosophy, but they've got big Rom on now, haven't they? They've got Jan Vertonghen, who's on the ball now. He's looking really sharp in the air. Surely needs must, and time to throw the plan out the window.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Vertonghen's first time going forward as a long ball does come forward from Alderweireld. It's scuffed and it's dragged right through the defence. They've got to throw something at this, haven't they? Catalaire's up there alongside Lukaku, 2 men well over 6 foot, but surely another man in Vertonghen or somebody like that to go up top and just cause more issues. Martinez telling his team to calm down on the sidelines, but as much calm energy as they want to try and employ on this game, it's not showing in the way they are playing. It's played out from the back then from the goal kick by Munir Mohammadi as it's flicked on by Abu Kalal as it almost falls towards the man in the box in Ziyech. He does fall for him. He trips to his right hand side, cuts it back to Abu Kalal! 2-0 to Morocco, and another substitute gets another goal. It's surely all done.
What a finish that is at the near post. Akario Abu Kalal with his right foot whipping it into the top corner. Nothing Courtois can do. It's all the 6 yards out. It's past him before he has moved. I was just thinking there, Morocco look more dangerous than Belgium do on the break, and they've got a second goal, the third time they've had the ball in the net. What a finish, what a move. When it's come to it, we questioned, or I did certainly in the first half, would Morocco be able to put the ball in the net when it mattered, and twice they've scored now. 2-0, what a result.
2 wonder substitutions as well from the manager. It's a fantastic finish, isn't it? It's just a long ball forward and it just bounces through in towards Abu Kalal, who just guesses and flicks it on. Witsel doesn't clear it. Ziyech picks it up and with a great piece of skill turns it back towards the centre of the goal. And Abu Khalal can't really do anything else but try and turn it to the near post, and he finds the top bins.
He does, and it's such a great bit of movement as well, because it would have been so easy for him to go towards the near post. He hangs back 8 yards out. Witsel's got to mark the near post. He has to split the space between the player and the goal. It leaves him in no man's land. It's a great finish. The Belgians can't quite believe it. A chaotic start to this game for Morocco, with Mounir Mohammadi having to come in after Bono had lined up for the anthems in goal. He'd done the team picture, didn't make it in onto the pitch. However, he's barely been tested, the Moroccan goalkeeper, because Morocco have been so good and Belgium have been so disappointed.
They have indeed. A brilliant finish from the 22-year-old who plays for Toulouse. Still got a minute and a half of added time plus extras for those celebrations. What a World Cup this is turning out to be. 4 upsets, of course. There was a lot of pessimism around the Belgian media around this team. Of course, they call it the golden generation. They're starting to call it the bronze generation because they never quite delivered on their promise. We've seen Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. And now we're looking like we're going to see Morocco beating the team that are ranked the number 1 in the world in Belgium. And down the right-hand side, it comes from the long ball for Morocco. Amrabat, who's been an ever-present in that midfield for Morocco. He's been fabulous today as Courtois rolls it out from the back into Witsel. Surely this game is all but over, but Morocco would half love a clean sheet, wouldn't they? They've not lost in 6. It's going to be not lost in 7 after this one. Witsel in a foot race with Ziyech. It's tackled by Ziyech, cut inside by Amrabat, who goes down. It's Witsel and it's free kick and it's taken quickly. Vertonghen looking to clear that one forward. A late challenge then comes in from a Morocco man. Then again on De Bruyne, and the play will eventually be pulled back.
It's chaotic, isn't it? Yellow card for Sabiri. He's saying it's one challenge, but it's a yellow card challenge, unfortunately, for Sabiri. The right call. Vertonghen played the ball out and Sabiri played him. I think he got a kick in the chest for his troubles, but he was so late there, wasn't he? Sabiri. There's a couple of other challenges in there as well. It's very, very, very feisty at the moment. Belgium looking to go forward because a goal might be the difference. Goal difference could be the decider in this pool.
Yep, absolutely. This is Group F, and this game is finished. Morocco, after a good draw against Croatia, have made it 7 games unbeaten, and they have slayed the Red Devils. The Atlas Lions stroll to a 2-0 victory over Belgium at the Al Thamama Stadium. What a result for the North Africans. Belgium 0, Morocco 2.